It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. One of the strangest weeks we have ever had. Rico Beard joins us. He is a longtime Detroit radio and TV personality. Specs Howard, broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and he is co-host of the Mike Valeni Show with Rico on 97.1 The Ticket. How are you, Rico?
Good, Jack. How are you doing today?
Well, we have survived a week that I never thought we would see.
True.
And I saw you Friday night at Breslin Center. Some very strange developments there, but it began with a circle of unity, something that was Tom Izzo's idea. And there you see both teams grouped together before the opening tip. What did you make of this, and what did this tell us?
Well, I mean, strange week indeed, Jack, where once again sports kind of takes the back page to real life. And this was kind of Izzo's way of showing that there can be unity. Heated rival with Purdue and the referees. How about everybody get together? Let's show the world what the world should be doing. And once again, we got to take the leads from, 18 to 22-year-olds to tell adults how to live their life and how to be good people.
Yeah, I don't know that that lesson will sink in, but we can hope. Also want to welcome Sean Baligian, one of the most versatile voices in the state of Michigan. Terrific on talk radio, play-by-play, studio work, including his stints at WJR and his game day host for the Detroit Lions radio network. Sean, how are you?
Tremendous, Jack. Nice to see both of you.
We're thinking back to when we first knew what 2020 was going to be, and you were getting ready to do a hockey game, and I was getting ready to watch a Big Ten basketball tournament game, and both of those were aborted. And now 2021, something we thought was going to be guaranteed to be better, is off to a rocky start.
You know what? I'm an optimist. Things have got to get better. And I'll echo what both you and Rico just said. Just a crazy week. The easiest thing in the world is to be nice to people. And I really wish that we could get back to that and remember the simplicity of that. So with that being said, I'm still in club 2021 is going to be a heck of a lot better than 2020 was.
Being nice to people, doing the right thing, it's so simple. I mean,
Yep.
Spike Lee told us what to do. Very simple way. And we'll be back in just a minute. Our Going Green segment up next here on Press Pass.
Love lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Kroger, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Central Pharmacy and Health Mart are your healthy at home experts.
What's the best way to start the day? I say sunny side up, right here in this amazing studio. If I could travel anywhere in time, where would I go? I would definitely go meet my family, the Barrymores, hang out with them. Dogs or cats? Can't answer it because I have both, and it would be rude. The title of the current chapter of my life would be Truly Happy. What can fans expect from the Drew Barrymore show? Heart and humor. I think both are vital and shouldn't be without each other.
From the producers of Bob's Burgers, The Great North premieres February 14th on Fox.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else. peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
So, I got my start in officiating when a friend told me I should try it. At first, I just did basketball, and I got hooked. Before long, I added baseball, softball, football, and volleyball. I really enjoyed giving back to the game, working with kids, and working with my local association to recruit and train new officials. I would like to say to anybody that officiating is a great way to help kids and stay connected to the game. We always need new officials. There's help wanted, just listen.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet and Graf Nissan on West Grand River in Okemos. 107 years in the automobile business. They'll take great care of you, as they have in all 7 of my least preferred businesses. For a new or used vehicle, go green, go Graf.
If you're going to put the big guy on the line, go ahead and do it. Foul early. There you go. Yeah, and he goes with a jump hook, puts it in, and was saved by Rocket Watts and his athletic ability. Here's Henry, right into the lane. Beautiful shot. Oh, did they get the deflection? They did. Yes, they did. Eric Hunter got the deflection. This is to tie the game. Off the heel, Edie trying to keep it alive. Hauser gets it, and we've got a tie-up with 6.4. There he is, right on cue. Nothing but nylon for Trevion.
There you see the Trevion Williams show Friday night at Breslin Center as he ran largely unopposed. And Purdue had an incredible comeback victory. I also want to take a look at Purdue on its plane on the way home and a celebratory mood for the buoyant Boilermakers. As you would expect, they were handed a gift and they had the good sense to open it. Rico, I want to take a look at the half-by-half scores. First of all, the Rutgers game and Michigan State with a win over a top 15 team and in control most of the way. 23-point win. People said maybe they found their mojo, and it looked that way until halftime Friday night. When you look at the score by halves of Purdue, Michigan State, how stunned were you that the Boilermakers erased a 17-point lead and that Michigan State had just 4 baskets in the second half?
Well, I was stunned a little bit, Jack, but then you realize that this isn't Matt Painter's first rodeo. He had Trevion Williams in foul trouble in the first half, and that kind of helped Michigan State in keeping Purdue in check. But come the second half, Painter realized at the end, I got the mismatch on the floor. Joey Hauser really had no business out there trying to guard Trevion Williams. It was a mismatch. I don't know why Thomas Kithier didn't come back in the game. I don't know why we didn't put Marcus Bingham out there, especially in those final 20 seconds. If anything, it's like, kid, go out there, earn your scholarship, be 7'4" with that wingspan, and just block some shots. Wreak havoc, just get in the way. Don't make it easy for Trevion. But yeah, Painter saw that no one could guard Trevion at the end, and it was just dump it into Trevion, dump it into Trevion, dump it into Trevion, and it worked.
You talk about the decision that Tom Izzo made. He said, well, we're not going to give up a bunch of threes. We're not going to get beat that way. And that's exactly what happened. You saw Purdue very inefficient from deep, but with no Thomas Kithier, Matty Sissoko, certainly Marcus Bingham had block shots in the first half. When they were not in there, he could score at will. And when you look at that, you look at the score by halves for Trevion Williams. He has 2 points in the first half and 24 in the second, in the 26-point night.
Yeah, he was in foul trouble for that first half, so he sat on the bench. That helped Michigan State because Purdue, Jack, didn't have any other type of scoring going on that night. They struggled. Now, I guess what happened at the end of the game when Izzo said, I was worried about the three-point shot, but it was like, Tom, they only made three-pointers all night.
Yeah.
I think this is one where the problem was right in front of you and you were worried about something else. I mean, God bless Joey Hauser. He did everything he could, but it was just a mismatch. And besides, once Hauser got that fourth foul, he didn't want to foul out the game. That's where, man, in those last few possessions, Sissoko, Bingham, Kithier, somebody else, and substitute offense for defense. I think you had 2 timeouts left at the game, into the game. You got to do better.
Well, you say Joey Hauser did everything he could have done. The one thing he did not do was call timeout when he has his hands on that ball at the end in that scrum on the floor. If he had done that, then the arrow would not have given the ball back to Purdue and given him a shot for that last possession. Sean, do you remember a more disappointing, some would say disgusting loss for the Spartans in Breslin Center? And taking a look at the MSU Big Ten schedule, what does it say about Michigan State's chances of trying to be a Big Ten contender?
If you guys want to yell at me for saying this, go right ahead. I'm going to play the role of the homer here. I think a lot of their problems right now are correctable. I know some Spartan fans are acting as if the sky is falling. You guys both said, look, there have been some moments of soft, and I think that has led to some of these losses. It was interesting. You put up the graphic earlier looking at the second halves. It's about, correcting those moments of soft. No doubt about it. You're in a position right now, though. Look, you're still 8-4. You can take care of some business.
All right. We will be right back. Tracking a Trophy up next.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
My 47. If you're not laughing, it's a crime.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-922-1305. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-922-1305.
Welcome back. It is Press Pass here on Fox 47, and it's time for our Tracking a Trophy segment, brought to you by the Ticket Machine at the corner of Mount Hope and Hagedorn. For the best in sports and entertainment ticketing, whenever those events resume, go to theticketmachine.com.
Ohio, this is for you. We could have written a lot of things in the script for this video. We could have looked back at our 8 national championships.
We could have pointed out that the last 2 times we won it all, that's 12 and 6-point underdogs. We could have called out all the people who said we didn't have a shot, didn't deserve to be here. We could have just stopped writing, but we didn't.
Listen to me right now. Everybody's eyes up here. This is real now. We've been punched, we've been hit, but because of that, we're tougher. Not only is Ohio watching, not only is the country watching, the world is watching this game. Where are we going to be when the world's watching? Be ready to make history and be ready to do something that's never been done in the history of college football.
That's John Legend and LeBron James paying tribute to their beloved Buckeyes before The Ohio State University plays for a national championship tomorrow night. Sean Baligian taking a look at the college football playoff semifinals and the matchup tomorrow. What's your number one takeaway?
Defense does not win championships. It's all about the offense now. Everybody needs to open their eyes and understand that this is the way football has been going for a long time. Not only the way that it's called, the way that's officiated, the way that teams are building. These are 2 offensive juggernauts. They both are apt to give up a ton of points on any given game day. I think they're both going to give up a ton of points on Monday night. The question is, who's going to score more? It's all about the pretty offenses now. Nick Saban and Coach Dave both know that.
Rico Beard, let's take a look at the game-by-game performances for the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Ohio State Buckeyes. What % chance do you give Ohio State of pulling the upset? And can Justin Fields, Trey Sermon, and Chris Olave go TD for TD with Mac Jones, Najee Harris, and Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith?
Jack, I give them probably about a 45% chance of winning this game. Ooh. It really comes down to Trey Sermons. If Trey gets off, if they can't stop him, he was the difference in the Clemson game because he opened up the field. And now Justin Fields is able to find Chris Olave and his other receivers. It made Ohio State be able to pass and run the ball because they couldn't stop him. And this Alabama defense, it ain't your father's Bama defense. I shake my head at Sean, but Sean's right. Defense doesn't do you any good in college football anymore. You only need to be good on like 5 to 10 plays where you can stop and get that key third down stop. Other than that, I do think that the Buckeyes can go point for point. It really comes down to Trey Sermon.
45% chance, Rico. I don't know very many people who gave Ohio State a 45% chance against Clemson. You might be able to make some money in Las Vegas on that one.
I made some money last time they played against Clemson, so I saw that coming. I think they could be hoisting the trophy. I guess technically good for the Big Ten, but Ohio State, it's really good for the Buckeyes. Let's be real.
John, when we take a look at the previous 6 college football playoffs and the small number of teams that have competed, including 2 from the Big Ten, what jumps out to you?
You know what? I'm a big Division II fan, Jack, and I'm a firm believer if we went to a Division II format where we could, instead of talking about that which we think we know, which is so BCS era to me, you settle it on the field. I would love to see if some of those teams would change. If you could see, the 2 knock off the 7, whatever the case may be, I would really love for them to expand it. Maybe it would show that college football is more competitive on the field than it is in some boardroom and committee.
We will be right back, and we're going to have the big picture segment up next, taking a look at additions at Michigan State and a guy who's staying at the University of Michigan.
Old Diamondale Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance want to thank all our dedicated customers during this recent crisis. We hope to see your smiling faces real soon. Call your hometown team today.
Get your first look at the weather that's heading our way with the Weather Satellite Radar on Fox 47 News.
Sponsored by Winterworld of Lansing.
Hi, I'm Gary Baxter, General Manager at Fox 47. Fox 47 is changing the way we deliver the news. We're working hard and getting better every day as we build a different kind of newscast, shifting our focus to the neighborhoods that make up Mid-Michigan. So please, keep watching and let us know the stories you'd like to see.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Greg.
Welcome to Delicious.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Transportation. Dean is hiring caring and dependable people as school bus drivers in many Michigan markets. Be a hero in your community and safely transport children to and from school with Dean. For more information and to apply, visit deantransportation.com/jobs. That's deantransportation.com/jobs. Rico, I want to take a look at one of the new portal additions. What does it mean for Michigan State to add a running back, Kenneth Walker III, who averaged 5.9 yards a carry as a freshman, including a 96-yard score, and he had 13 touchdowns in just 7 games for Wake Forest last year?
Jack, what this means is that Mel Tucker is serious about that running game. You had a running game at Michigan State that scored 0 rushing touchdowns. That's a problem. In order for Mel Tucker's offense to run, you need to be able to run the ball effectively. They ran the ball all right, but you see between him and adding Harold Joyner II, Tucker's trying to upgrade that running back room.
Well, you talk about 0 rushing touchdowns from the running backs. Kenneth Walker III had 3 games last year where he had 3 rushing touchdowns. So makes quite a difference in terms of getting into the end zone. I want to take a look at the 5 portal additions for Michigan State thus far. And we both had a chance to talk with Mel Tucker at halftime Friday night. Doesn't sound like he's done acquiring talent. What else do you expect?
Jack, I expect probably a couple of defensive backs, probably safeties, and maybe even a wide receiver or 2, and a linebacker and a defensive lineman. I think Mel Tucker is just trying to quickly overhaul this process, and he knows. Look, this new transfer portal thing, it's the new college version of free agency. He's using it as best as possible. I didn't recruit any of these guys. There's no love lost here. If guys want to go someplace else and play, fine. You're not going to play here. I need to bring in guys who can make an instant impact. Here's how you know it could work. You look at what Greg Schiano did at Rutgers. He turned Rutgers around instantly. Rutgers was just minus a QB. But their defense was one of the best defenses in the Big Ten. That was because he brought in 9 guys who all started last year on that Rutgers team.
Sean, the big news in college football in the state of Michigan this week was the contract extension for Jim Harbaugh 4 more years through 2025.
4 more years.
Saying,
4 more years.
Those who stay will be watching Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. But when you think about this contract, it is heavily incentivized. And I guess he could get back to $8 million if he did enough things. It'd be very difficult for him to break his own Big Ten record of the highest salary per victory. And that was $4 million per win last year.
It reminds me so much of the situation with Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame. Remember, he was going to go to Notre Dame and he was going to change everything. And they finally got the guy and everything was coming together. And what I remember most about the Charlie Weiss era is his biggest win was the loss. And it was the Bush Push game. I mean, and I'm being serious here. I asked this of the Michigan fans out there. What's your biggest win? What's the game that everybody talks about on Jim Harbaugh's watch? And you know what it comes back to? JT was short. When your biggest win is a loss, there's an issue. And this contract is so strange because, I mean, what it's saying is, well, we kind of like him. And he's saying, well, we kind of like them, but there's nothing else available. So we kind of had to settle. So that's where it's at right now. Look, I don't think it's a good move. I don't think it's a situation where he is in any way, shape, or form going to fulfill this contract, but I'm sure they'll tell everybody how well they're going to do by the time next September rolls around.
Sean, when Jim Harbaugh screams at his team, who's got it better than us? How long is their answer?
That's exactly it. You know, I mean, honestly, what more do you, I mean, guys leaving left and right, you know, there's so many different things going on right there right now. But I think people are starting to wake up, but they'll fall asleep again by the time August rolls around.
John,
yeah, here's the thing, Jack. You realize that he can't make $8 million if he hits every incentive. He's still going to fall short of his $8 million.
He can make that up with more commercials for Fairlife milk, I think. When you look at it, to be fair, Sean, he has done a pretty good job of beating Illinois and Minnesota. But in the games that matter, the ones that people really care about, 0-5 against Ohio State, should have been 0-6. 3-3 versus MSU, upset every time, all in Ann Arbor. 1-4 in bowl games. 2-12 against top 10 teams for a total of 6-24, a winning percentage of 20%. When you look at that records, what does it say?
You know what it says to me? It says, you know, in the span of just a short few years, they have moved the goalposts so far now. Why was he hired? To win. It isn't happening.
We'll be right back. We'll talk Pro Football Lions up next.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else: peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemus.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
Stay connected everywhere you go. Download the Storm Shield app from your app store today.
Let MSU FCU drive down your payment with a low-rate auto loan. For a limited time, enjoy rates as low as 1.99% APR. Visit msufcu.org to learn more.
Hungry Howie's famous flavor is irresistible for a reason.
Our fresh-made dough piled high with our delicious 100% real mozzarella cheese and topped off with your favorite famous flavored crust. That's how we get that irresistible Hungry Howie's flavor that the whole family loves. Now at Hungry Howie's, get an irresistible meal deal fit for any budget starting at just $5.99. Fill up on mouth-watering flavor you can't afford to miss.
Hungry
Howie's!
Each week, we recognize outstanding educators from across the state with the Excellence in Education Awards.
Watch Fox 47 News at 7 Tuesday to meet this week's winner.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Law of the Jungle segment. Brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. Stop and see Chuck, Delita, and their terrific staff for the best in Mediterranean food. That's why I'm there every week.
Go! 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 There we go!
Guys, we saw how the Bills Mafia reacted yesterday to their first playoff win in 25 years. How would Detroit fans react if the Lions ever made it to the Super Bowl? Sean?
Can't even imagine. You know, Jack, honestly, I remember how crazy the Silverdome was when they won that one playoff game. You know, I was there as a fan, and it's the loudest building I've ever been in. And, you know, this was like a ghost town when they played the Washington football team in the NFC Championship game that year. But it's you know, you're going to see people weeping, much like when the Red Sox won the World Series in 2004. You're going to see people weeping because this has been a generational thing, Jack. Like so many other people, my father has told me to stop wasting my time with the football team. So I think Rico can relate to that. I think that is something, you know, it goes so much deeper. So it would be a party like no other.
Guys, let's take a look at Wild Card Weekend. 6 matchups, 4 of which are over. Saints just about done, finishing off the Bears, and then we have the Browns and Steelers tonight. When you look at these matchups, you have the underdogs covering the spread in the first 4 games, actually, and getting some wins. Road teams winning 3 of the 4. What does this mean?
You know, for me, the one that jumps out is the Rams-Seahawks game. I mean, I don't know what the heck happened there. You know, you have the backup quarterback in to start the game, and then, you know, the original starter comes in. He just had surgery on his thumb, and somehow they win going away. The NFL, you know, that top level, Jack, I think there's more parity than people want to give them credit for, you know, and we see it year after year after year. We all make the same mistake by talking about the favorites, but it's not exactly shocking to me that you see some of the events come up like we've seen in the National Football League come playoff time.
And it's enforced parity, guys, between the common draft and the salary cap. You don't have many blowouts. Most games are decided by 10 points or less, unlike college football. When you think about what we have here with these 12 teams in the wild card games and the 2 that got opening weekend buys, Kansas City and Green Bay, one thing they all have in common is effective, if not outstanding, leadership. Sean, what do the Lions do? What is Sheila Ford Hamp going to do? And what would you do if you were in that position?
Well, you know, for me, I love Ed Dodds. I think this is a guy that made a name for himself in a couple different places. The question is, does Ed Dodds want to do that? You know, John Schneider really intrigues me, you know, and saying, here's the control of the football team, because he's done a heck of a job out in Seattle as well. As far as the coach goes, I think first and foremost, you have to talk about the general manager. Everybody wants to talk about the coach, and I get it, because everybody there knows the coach and there's familiarity familiarity there. You don't want to start off on the wrong foot. You don't want to say, well, this is our coach. And by the way, general manager, you're just going to have to accept our coach because this is the guy that we have. You have to make sure that these guys are on the exact same page.
Yeah.
And more often than not, the general manager should be picking the head coach. So I hope that's the case. In a perfect world, I think bringing a guy that gets his franchise and can relate to the fans like Robert Salah, I think that would be perfect. I don't care how well he interviewed. That has nothing to do with what he can do on the football field.
Yeah, and I think it's changing gradually, and the coaching position is gaining in importance. The GM now is more of a capologist role.
Sure.
The coaches have a say in the talent and the front office assignments. Sean, if we take a look at the order of picks in round one, with the Lions picking number 7, what do you think the Lions will do? Let's say Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are off the board, but Justin Fields is there. They have so many pressing needs on defense. What do they do?
Well, you know what? It's interesting, Jack, because you mentioned the one name. I'm just hoping and praying that Zach Wilson falls to number 7. I really am. I think that kid is going to be a pro. I've talked to some guys that do some scouting, and they're absolutely in love with him. But I'm with you. I don't think that that's going to be the case. There are a couple linebackers that can be considered. Look, they need a linebacking core. I'm not joking. They need a linebacking core. There are so many holes on this team. You know, if one of the couple linebackers that are up there, you know, is he on the board at that time? I think you seriously have to look at it. You have to look at a quarterback. You do. I mean, I think it's
this
time.
May be their chance, guys. They're not going to have many of these opportunities. I think this may be the one to find Matthew Stafford's successor sooner than later. We'll be right back.
FanDuel's simple app makes it easy to get closer to the game. But to get Dan even closer, we've arranged for him to experience a genuine James Harrison tackle.
Wait, what?
Oh, cat!
FanDuel. Play free all season.
WSYM Fox 47 is an equal opportunity employer and is dedicated to providing broad outreach regarding job vacancies. We seek the help of local organizations in referring qualified applicants to our station. Organizations that wish to receive our vacancy information should contact our Human Resources Department by calling 517-484-7747.
My father is a part of me. That's how I understand killers.
Let's talk murder. I think things are looking up.
Really? We get to catch a killer.
Prodigal Son returns Tuesday on Fox.
It's about time to watch on your time. Search for WSYM on your device.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
Touchdown, Celtics.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Lansing's Best segment, brought to you by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority. The GLSA has brought thousands of athletes and teams to Mid-Michigan for hundreds of tournaments and special events, and we'll do that again in 2021, showing just what Mid-Michigan can be. Gentlemen, I want to take a look at the dates, the important dates for the resumption of play for high school football. And we are now through the 11-player regionals and the 8-player semifinals. Sean, the boys of fall back on it, kind of a frozen finish, the longest season in MHSAA history. Did you ever think that this might end January 23rd, 12 days after the last college game?
Never. Jack, I'm going to tell you point blank, I didn't think they were coming back. And maybe part of that reasoning may be, I lived through it from doing some hockey games last spring with the MHSAA. But let me tell you something. I'm full props to Mark Ewell and the entire MHSAA hierarchy. They found a way. Even when the goalposts were moved, they found a way to get out there and do what they had to do to get back on the field. Tip of the cap to everybody.
Contingency plans upon contingency plans, but it all worked out, or has thus far. They still have some football to play. Rico, I want to take a look at the 8 area teams that had games yesterday and how they did. The 8 teams from mid-Michigan. East Lansing losing 24-21 on a walk-off field goal to defending state champ Muskegon Mona Shores. You had a Mr. Football for Mona Shores, Brady Rose, and you did not have the quarterback Ambrose Wilson for East Lansing. That made a tremendous difference. You see 1-0. That is the score because Stevensville Lakeshore could not field a team against DeWitt. Williamston, big win over Milan in Division 4. Lansing Catholic trying to repeat as state champs in Division 5, a win over Grosse Ile. Ithaca and Lumen Christi, Carson City Crystal bowing out in Divisions 7 and 8. And in 8-player Division 2, Portland St. Patrick, a 34-12 win over Kindy North Huron. Rico, as we look at those teams surviving and the 4 of them that will be playing next weekend, in those matchups, you wonder which of them have a chance to make it either to the championship or at least to Ford Field. You have DeWitt hosting powerful Muskegon, and this may be the best DeWitt team Rob Zimmerman has had. That's saying a lot. Williamston going up against Detroit Country Day, a 2-loss team. Lansing Catholic against unbeaten Frankenmuth, and Portland St. Patrick and Powers North Central in the battle of unbeatens. Which area team do you like with the best chance to win a title?
Well, for the 8-man football, this is their championship, so I can see Portland getting that. Probably was it Williamston going up against Country Day. This Country Day team has 2 losses already. I think that's probably you're not supposed to in high school, but if that's where I would put my money. If they were betting on high school games, I would say Country Day, Williamston defeating Country Day.
Rico, I know you love Muskegon, and it's easy to do that, but I want to tell you this DeWitt team is a little bit different, and I think it has a great chance to beat the Big Reds. This is a team that in some years they've gotten to the championship game or they've made a long run in the tournament, didn't have quite enough. I think this team might be different.
Well, Jack, it's kind of like what Mike Tyson once said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And, I look at this Muskegon team, and year in and year out, they produce winners. It's nothing against DeWitt. I just think that I think Muskegon, the Big Reds, they're truly a red machine.
Okay, Rico, I want to take a look at the defending champions in the 10 classifications, divisions 1 through 8 for 11-player, and then the 2 classifications for 8-player. And there are some teams that are still alive in this. Davison looked very good in a big win Saturday. And you have some others. Grand Rapids Catholic Central looks tremendous. You have some teams that are not going to make it to the final that are terrific. Which of the defending state champions do you like the best?
Probably Davison in Division 1. I look for them. I'm thinking the winner of the West Bloomfield Belleville game I think they're going to beat each other up, and Davidson gets a chance to take a team that's going to be hurting. I think Davidson could probably come back and be Division I champions again.
Davidson has to play Rockford in that semifinal, but there are a couple of them here that well worth the price of admission. And as we said, the 8-player final, that is going to be in Brighton indoors. We'll be right back with more Talking Hockey up next.
At the David Chapman Agency, we take your business insurance personally. Our expertise makes it easy for you. Experience the benefit of a local agent who cares about your business with the David Chapman Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. Visit davidchapmanagency.com.
Love lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Kroger, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
At Clark Sales and Service, tractors and heavy equipment is our business. We'll pick up your equipment, fix it right, bring it back to you ready to roll. One phone call keeps Mid-Michigan farmers working. Any tractor, that's right, any tractor, big or small, we fix them all. 517-589-8000.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you a free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Take It to the Bank segment. Brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
The slap shot, late slap shot. Michigan State's Cole Krieger has tied it. Krieger, man, couldn't stop it. It trickles by him. Michigan State, the late goal. Josh Nodler. And that just might be the game winner.
John Baligian, Friday night's Spartans-Wolverine matchup in Yost Ice Arena was all Michigan, 9-0. And then they come back yesterday afternoon to Munn, and one of the craziest finishes you will ever see, a totally different kind of game. Michigan scores late, and then Michigan State scores twice in the last 2:01. It was a bizarre game where 60% of the goals came in the last 4 minutes and 38 seconds.
Unbelievable. And you know what? It goes to show you, how important this rivalry is. Look, you forget about a game like that which transpired on Friday night. It's going to happen. It was an exception to the rule, Jack, for both of these teams, because Michigan State is a team that isn't scoring a lot, but is doing a good job of limiting it. And Michigan isn't scoring a lot. And, the exception to the rule happened Friday night. But to bounce back, to come back less than 24 hours, and any winning team will tell you, especially when you play a schedule like this, you see this, in the American League, you see this in college hockey. Teams can bounce back. That's almost the worst thing that can happen, because now all of a sudden they got that chip on their shoulder. They remember what happened the night before, and the Spartans fought hard, and props to Coach Danton Cole and the boys for bouncing back and knocking off their rival.
Sean, when you think about college hockey, and Neil Koepke, my college hockey guru, was saying last week on The Drive with Jack, it's amazing how many splits we see. And exactly as you said, one night one team owns the other, and then it doesn't have any carryover. Michigan scored 11 of the first 12 goals in this series and left with a split.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I think when you look at the Big Ten as a whole right now, Jack, you're seeing a lot of teams that when some of that interdivision stuff, really gets going, you're going to see some teams, robbing Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. And what I mean, I don't be surprised at all if you don't see a lot of splits in the Big Ten this year. But to me, the bigger thing is, I really believe that Coach Cole, Danton Cole, has them going like this. And he took over a tough situation. It's about getting guys in here. It's about reminding people the proud history that Michigan State has had. Jack, as well as I do, at one point in time, there was no place you'd rather be than in Munn Arena. And it's about getting back to that level. So, when you have a win like that, people start to take notice, you're going to start bringing some of that talent back in.
And there was no tougher ticket in mid-Michigan than MSU hockey. But they say satisfaction, Sean, is based on expectations, with Michigan having so many high draft picks and predictions that they were headed for the Frozen Four. Michigan State still in a building process. One team unhappy and one very happy today.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know why it isn't working at Michigan. I really don't, because they've been able to get a lot of talents. When I was working for USA Hockey, I had a chance to work for the USNTDP, and, they had so many kids in the backyard, and you thought, boy, they should be pulling some more of these kids. And, some of the kids kind of flipped their recruits and everything. And, that's the one thing that always bothered me. I think Michigan State should be all over those kids. They're in your own backyard.
When you look at the Big Ten standings, the only thing that you know for sure is that Minnesota is pretty good. We'll be right back with our weekly awards.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
Let MSU FCU drive down your payment with a low-rate auto loan. For a limited time, enjoy rates as low as 1.99% APR. Visit msufcu.org to learn more.
Have you experienced the comfort of a well-fitting bra? 80% of women are wearing the wrong bra size. Visit Bras That Fit for the support your body deserves. Our bra fitting specialists will help you find the perfect blend of comfort and beauty, with sizes in stock from 32A to 54K. For the perfect fit, come see us at Bras That Fit.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by 4 great Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Okemos North and South, North Lansing, and West Lansing. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. Swing through any Culver's drive-thru and grab your fresh favorites. That's Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. Gentlemen, I hope you saw the beginning of the Pistons-Bucks game this week. And again, orchestrated gesture of solidarity. The teams had talked, the coaching staffs had talked, and Brook Lopez tipped the ball back to Giannis Antetokounmpo, who took a knee. All the players did the same, the coaching staffs, in an effort to show some solidarity. Guys, what are the chances that we as a society can follow that model? Sean, how much hope do you see for the next few months of 2021?
You know, Jack, I'm a very optimistic person, but I'm not feeling it. But you know what? I'm going to hope that it is because my mindset is going to be it can't get much worse than it is right now. So I'm going to give a thumbs up and hope that things get better.
Rico, if it can't get much worse, can it get much better?
Unfortunately, I disagree with Sean. I think it's probably going to get a little worse. We live in a society now where he who yells the loudest is right. And because you're yelling at each other, that means no one is listening. You're just trying to get your point across louder. I would like to say it gets better, but I think it gets worse before it does, Jack, unfortunately.
I would like to start with a better vaccine rollout, maybe from a selfish perspective. I think it would be nice if we had more than 20% of the vaccine where it's supposed to be and getting into people's arms, but they say maybe that will come in the near future. All right. Team 380, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Rico Beard, what do you have for us for our play of the week?
Play of the week. I want to go a little bit off the board because this was a little bit off the board. The play of the week is for anybody who watched the Saints take on the Bears on the Nickelodeon channel. It was great. It was different. It was simplistic football. And you know what? If you were a parent watching the game with your kid was engaged because it was all the bells and whistles that you needed to keep their attention. Plus, they also taught you what football was all about. So kudos. I think Nickelodeon is on something.
Was it a G-rated broadcast?
Well, no, there was one F-bomb. But it wasn't on camera, and it was a real awkward moment from Nate Burleson, like, oh man.
Sean, for our team of the week, I know a lot of Michigan football fans unhappy, hockey fans very unhappy last night, but there are reasons to smile.
You know what? You got one heck of a basketball team. I'm going to select the Michigan Wolverine basketball team. Hunter is the real deal. Juwan Howard is a likable guy. Michigan fans, I don't understand why you don't embrace this more. Your football team's been an also-ran for almost 2 decades now. Look what your basketball team is doing. Enjoy life. Guys, I think this is a legitimate Michigan basketball team and a team to look out for. Forget about next year, this year.
A very backloaded schedule, all the tough games in the bottom 8 other than the game coming up Tuesday night with Wisconsin. And yesterday's game, with Penn State will be rescheduled. All right, for our player of the week, I have to give a nod to Trevion Williams for what he did. Rico, you remember what he looked like when he got to Purdue, and he was more like the Pillsbury Doughboy. But now he's gotten in shape. He has great skills around the basket, and anybody who can score 24 points in his final 20 minutes of a game and lead his team back from 17 down, that was a big win for the Boilers. They're not going to win a championship, but they won that night. I want to thank Sean Baligian. Great work for WJR. And, of course, Rico Beard, 97.1 The Ticket. We'll be back next week, everyone. Have a great week.